So everyone, it's a quick update on the Turing Pi Raspberry board, which is this. So unfortunately it has a fault, and it seems that a very small number of these boards were delivered with faulty network chips. So either one of these chips on the back or perhaps the main sort of network switch chip, which is on the front. So the upshot is that although it works in any other respect, the networking between the compute modules and, well, either the rest of the network or between themselves doesn't work. So that's sort of one of the main functions of the board, really. The good news is that Turing Pi have been really good about sending a replacement, and that's on the way now, and had no problem getting that sorted out, so that's obviously good news. It's obviously a bit of a delay to the project, but to be honest, I wasn't on a tight time scale anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. And now I've got a sort of spare board for curiosity, because I don't think they've asked for it back, and not yet anyway. Why would they? I imagine it's probably not possible to repair. But what I'm going to do is have a look down the macro lens to see if I can see any obvious problems with any of the chips. I did try and do this already because a few boards had problems with solder that was sort of bridging connections. So I did quite carefully look for that already, because I thought if that was the problem, it would be an easy fix to kind of scrape that away or remove it with soldering iron. But I couldn't see anything, so it's probably more likely that the chip itself is faulty, but worth a look. So I'll have a little look now, and I'll show you down the camera, and we'll see if we can see anything obvious. Obviously, if I can get this working, I'll be able to cancel or send back the other one. So that would save them a bit of trouble. So we'll have a look now and see what we find. So I got the macro lens out. This is as close as I can get, which is obviously not that great, but doesn't look like there's anything around the any sort of bits of solder around those connectors. They all look pretty clean. So if I sort of try and move the board, excuse the shaking. Yeah, they all look pretty clean as well. It's obviously very hard to kind of hold this still, but yeah, they all look pretty fine, really. So it seems like it's quite unlikely to be soldering problems, perhaps more likely that it's actual chip fault. Again, that one looks pretty clear as well. Using this actually is quite helpful, because getting access to these chips to see them properly with a magnifying glass is a bit tricky as well. You can see reasonably clearly on this. Well, for completeness, I'll try one more side, if I can see it. It's going to be tricky to get in there, I think. No, again, that looks fine. So, yeah, not soldering problems, more likely a faulty network chip itself. I did hear that a very small number of boards were affected with a faulty network chip, and I guess I've just been unlucky. Not to worry. So yeah, looking at that chip at least, doesn't look like it's faulty soldering. So it's more likely to be something wrong with the chip itself. I did also have a look at the ones on the back. They're a bit easier to see just with, I used a magnifying loupe. And they all look fine as well, so it just looks like this board is not working, which is a shame. What I might do is keep it as, like I said, a sort of curiosity. Could maybe go in the background of my videos when I move to a new place. And I actually got confirmation that the replacement board has been shipped, so that'll be here pretty soon, so it's not a great loss really. So anyway, once I get it, I'll be able to kind of restart this project, and I'll show you the kinds of things that I try and do with it. One thing I also discovered that I didn't know actually is that you can either use on the module storage or these SD cards, not both, which I didn't know, but fortunately I found that out before I bought a load of SD cards, because the compute modules I've got have 32 gigabytes storage with them, so I'll just use that, which is fine. It does make it a little bit more difficult to get an image onto them, because you have to do it individually through the onboard USB connector, which is fine, onboard flash port, where I can't just kind of image a bunch of SD cards with another computer and do it on sort of bulk. But I don't mind that, it's not a big problem. Okay, well I'll update you with this project and I'll see you in the next video.